Onegaishimasu. Okay. We'll just loosen the body off, so just nice and loose, keep the arms nice and heavy, sink the weight into the ground. Just keep nice and long, all the joints open. Okay, bringing the body to the front and back. Okay. Keep the arms nice and loose. Allow them to swing with the body. Good. Okay, side to side. And just let the arms drag the body. Good. Okay, rotating. And then just working with a wave through the body, so be loose, loosening through the knees, really rolling through the spine. Okay, okay. Nice big stretch up, nice breath in. And bending the knees, keeping the arms extended, and finding the ground. Head nice and loose, and then just pull the body up, curling up through the spine. And nice and deep in. Keeping the spine long, arms extended, and the head loose. And then all the way up, nice and slow. And again. Okay, good to the side. You're going to stretch up one arm, one side, and then just all the way over, nice and slow. Stretch right up. And over to the side. And again. And again, to the side. Okay, just with the shoulders, just rolling forward. Nice big circles. And backwards. And then alternating forward. And backwards. Okay, hips to the hip, big circle. the other direction. Okay, knees just gently bending and straightening. Just go a little bit lower each time. Just stretch back fully, straighten the knees. Just go into tight circles. And the other way. Good. Okay, just placing the weight down on one foot and rolling through the ball of the foot. Good. Go in both directions. Good. And then just holding it off the ground, really rolling the ankle. Both ways. Okay. Press through the toes, stretch out. And then the ball of the foot, press it out. And then the heel. Push it out. Good. Shake it out. And change sides. So press the weight into the opposite foot. And just start rolling through the ball. Good. Okay, raising it off, just working with circles. And then pointing the toes. Pointing the ball of the foot. And then the heel. Okay, good. Just take one step forward. Yeah, feet on a parallel line. So both toes pointing forward. Just stretch into the hips. Good. Changing the leg. Just sink into the hip. Here. Good. Okay, changing, going a little bit deeper. Sinking, really opening the back hip. Change sides. Okay, feet wide. Yeah, just bring the hands down to the same level. The feet. Just walk the hands out a little bit and just start to rock the legs. Straightening and bending one leg. And then just go down to one side as much as you can, keeping the feet flat on the ground. Using the hands as support. And the other side. Changing side, just bringing the heel up and stretching into the back of the leg. Nice and slowly. Okay, just for the arms, you're going to press the arms out. If you're pressing two walls, either side. Really stretch out. And then start to really rotate the shoulder. So just the shoulder joint, rotating it front and back. And mobilize the chest and the shoulder blades. keeping the shoulder fixed down, just start to roll through the forearms and the wrists and the hands. Okay, fingers together, and then press the palms together, and then just start rolling here, keeping the contact with the palms as you do it. So just rolling through. Slow. And then splitting the contact, just really rolling through the whole joint. Fingers to wrist. Okay, just stretching out here forward, keeping the shoulders wide. Stretch out to the front. Release. Stretch up high. And keep the shoulders as wide as you can. Stretch up. And then last one to the back. Nice and wide in the front. Release. Okay, just do a few for the shoulder, just rolling the arm across the body. Press it right across. Okay, changing side. Over the top. Drag it over with the arm. Change sides. Good. And then just dragging the arm across the back. Good. And changing side. And release. Okay, just shake the arms up at the top. Roll them in circles at the bottom. Shake the whole body. Shake the legs. Okay, take Bokken. Okay, we start really shoulder width apart with the feet, square on. Just raise into the back and drawing the sword down. Nice, basic. Just really looking for the arc through the cut. Find the back and then drop the weight of the body down. Nice and easy. No speed. Good, keep going. And this exercise, just really focus on the feet and the hands. So really allow the connection from the feet to move the hands here, this feeling here. And then when you want to draw the sword down, have the sense that you're going to sink into the feet. And the feeling then is that the hands are dragged down by this movement. So the Bokken's in this position. Really get a sense I want to raise. I'm going to do it through the footwork. So raising up this way. And then from here, I want to cut down. I sink into the feet this way. And this drags the arms down. So really have a sense that through the ground foot connection, this drags the Bokken up and drags the Bokken down. So really get a sense that hands and feet really working together. But the priority is the footwork. So from the ground pressing up, from the ground pressing in. Really get this kind of sense of coordination. Hands working through the footwork. Nice and easy. Okay, give it a try. Yeah. Yeah, good. Nice. Okay, and then one more point, just in terms of the wrist and the hand, really allow full flexibility in the joint. In the same way when you do the Suburi, really you're opening the wrist out. If I do this with a kind of fixed hand and the wrist very, very tight, it looks like this kind of work. And then what happens, the body starts to over here. So if this connection's very tight, the arm's very tight and the wrist is very tight, the body starts to do it here, this way. Really get a sense that the arm's going to do this kind of really mobile movement. Especially the wrist needs to be quite loose, and especially in this exercise, because I'm not working with power, really allow the wrist to flex, especially on the upwards part, and this here, just at the bottom of the cut here. So really allow this. So really just focus on now on the wrist, and really let the wrist be flexible all the way through. Don't kind of fix it and just move the arm in this way. Okay, try it. Just work with flexibility in the wrist. Yeah, good. Nice. Good. Okay, good. And then you're just going to place the sword. What I want you to do with both of the front fingers on both hands, keep them loose. So you're just going to work with the back of the grip. So really no sense of power and no sense of finishing the sword, just in the back of the grip here. And the front fingers loose on both hands. This just allows you to work with placing. And I've just reached the point where the sword just slots into the back of the grip. So just find this position, keep the front fingers loose and just work with placing the sword. And it's around about here, the horizontal line with the ground. You'll just find that it slots into the grip and not relying on the front fingers to push or do anything like this. Just allow the sword to slot into the back of the grip. So really working with the front two fingers on both sides loose. Just try it. Yes. Good. 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 And then you're just going to catch the sword in the focus. So now just increasing the sense of impacting through the sword. Keep the sense that the front two fingers are quite loose, especially in the right hand. What I don't want the right hand to do is dominate the cut and push through. I just have the sense of finding the arc, placing through, and then just the sense of focusing through the hand. Really get a sense of grounding the cut. Really cut right into the ground. Especially the right hand, don't allow it to dominate. Find the back and cut through into the ground. Okay, give it a try. There we go. Yeah, good. Yeah. Good. Good. Again, just really look at when you time the focus in the hand. So this thing about kind of dribbling through the cut, and this kind of thing of rebounding up through the body. This is really to do also with how I time the focus up. What I need to do is time the focus in the right point when the hips are going to catch the sword this way. And then the feeling is that the focus lands into the center of the body. If I mistime it or I do it too early, the sword will start to finish and then it will be dragged by the body. If I do it kind of too late, I finish much and then I do it. So the body will kind of be thrown out over. So get this, finish in the ground and snap into the wrist, snapping through the hands. So get this kind of sense. So you really want to ground the cut here in the body and then snap into it here. So get this sense of timing the snap or timing the focus in the hands. Really in a kind of perfect sense. You want it really to finish in the ground. And though the sword kind of vibrates, it doesn't shift. It doesn't sink down and it doesn't kind of move up. So just get the sense of really grounding the cut. And this is just to do with really the timing. Oh, this was a dribble. They're done. This is a dribble. Sink through the body and then really focus into the hands this way. And really feel kind of massive and solid as you find the focus. Try. Just really watch for this kind of dribbling or rebounding up through the body. Sink down, strong focus. Very nice. Good, all right. Okay, good. And then just go into the first Suburi, so right side forward. And now just look for these same things. Really find the back and then shift the weight forward and find the focus. Just really try and ground the movement. So in the back and then sinking down. Back, sink down. Okay, good. So now when you're in the hammy, it's quite easy to lose the sense of balance. It's quite easy to find when you're kind of square on. When you're square on, it's really easy. You just sink the hips down. In the case of being in hammy, because one hip's been thrown forward, there's a tendency to kind of lose the balance into the front of the body. So just as an exercise, find the back, find the cut, and then really just release through the arms this way. And really just feel what the body's doing here. If you're really thrown forward, you'll feel the body really doesn't want to stay in this position. It wants to kind of come back into balance. So just get a sense you're going to really find a strong cut here and then just release through it. And see what happens to the body. If I need to really release something or release tension, I'm really kind of working out balance in the body. So just get a sense of cutting in balance. The more I can just release into the ground this way, the more kind of balance I am. And if I feel kind of tension in the knees or in the shins or in the toes, something's kind of out of balance in the body. So just really use this as a test of the posture. So cut down strongly and then release it. Just feel where the body is. Try.
Michael,
Yeah.
what do you mean by cut down strongly?
Oh, I mean, I can do this exercise like that. I can kind of cheat this exercise. I can do it kind of slow. It's fine. So if I do it really slow and I do it kind of steady, this is really easy to find balance. But if I'm doing a really strong cut where I'm really pressing weight through the body this way, this is hard to do in a state of balance. But I really want to cut strongly through the cut. I want to cut with a sense of extension out, grounding the movement here. And then I want to feel what that does to the body. I'm trying to kind of press the body, and I'm using the weight of the swords pulling the body out. The sense of focusing in making a strike is pulling the body out. All of this is working against balance. So balance is kind of easy to do when I'm relaxed. Balance is easy. But if I'm doing something active and really pressing weight and pressing power through the body, then this is kind of hard to maintain balance. So by cutting strongly, cut strongly, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You give a full cut. Good. It can be quite tempting in this exercise to kind of watch yourself as well. So try and avoid this, because if you do this, you'll destroy the posture anyway. So if I do this and then I look down, I just destroy the posture. So if I'm kind of checking whether I'm in balance, you won't be in balance because you're looking down at your feet. So whenever you do this, you'll throw the weight out. So just get a sense of extension out. Really just watch out here and then just release through the body this way. So feel it, but don't watch it in this sense. So really feel what the body's doing in balance, but try and avoid looking at yourself. You can use your computer as well if you can see yourself. You can check this way. Maybe not if I spotlight you. But better to feel it. Really feel what the body's doing. Okay, good. Okay, last point with the Shomanuchi. So, well, with the first Suburi, really work with the Shomanuchi. So, try and now find as much as you can a kind of perfect cut through the body, which means a really straight, centered cut. So this means no real distortion this way, or this way, or this way, kind of cutting off at an angle. So really try and get a sense that you're going to cut a perfect kind of Shomanuchi straight. Oh, this is kinked. Straight through the body. So really aim for a kind of straight, horizontal, flat, kind of pure cut. So this is kind of hard to check. This is the best done with a mirror, but just really get a sense that the Shomanuchi is very flat and straight through the body and really projecting out through the center of the body this way. And I want no sense of really kinking the sword. or kinking the sword this way. Yeah, just go for a real straight Shomanuchi cut. You can try it. Good. Very good. Good. And we go through this movement just like number 4. So in this case, start on the right side, cutting down, and then just bringing the feet together, find the back, and then cutting down. Just real basic, bringing the feet together, cutting down. So cutting the left side, right side. Real Shomanuchi all the time. Find the back, draw the body down. Find the back, sink through the body. Good. In this exercise, just watch for 2 things. One of them is that because the body's pulling back or moving back with the foot, the tendency is to kind of shift the weight back too much. And this becomes a kind of backwards movement cut. Just really get the sense that you're on the spot, holding the ground here. So it's not in a case of, or not in a feeling of moving back with the body, with the back leg, but a sense of really finishing in the ground down. Down. So it's just the foot, it's basically a repositioning of the foot back, but it's not a really pulling back of the body. And the other thing to try and avoid is there's a kind of counterbalance that goes with the body. Like the back foot goes back and the front goes out this way. So just watch this kind of counterbalance where the body's kind of splitting front and back. Just really get a sense of down. So from the work in the first Suburi, which is really just down, just keep this kind of sense of the cut really finishing in the ground, right in the center of the posture here. Here. Whilst keeping a sense of extension out to the front without it pulling you out to the front. Okay? Give it a try. So really a strong sense of holding the ground. Good. Nice. Good. Good. So we'll switch to 5, the same feeling, just holding the ground. So swing the back leg in, find the top of the head, and then cutting down with the yokomen. So now really allowing the back hip to open out. Find the top of the head, and then cut down. You can break this down into 2. So find the top of the head here, feet together, and then swing through with the upperman. Find the top of the head, swing through. Just get the feeling that the hands and the feet work together. Hands and the feet. There. Really find the top of the head. Find the center of the bounce and then really curl the hip this way. Top of the head, curl the hip down. So just break this down into 2. Nice. Good. And then just working from the posture, just taking 1 step each time. So just 1 cut, left side here, and then just roll back. So just really take a pause between the cuts. So you can start left or right, and just have the sense of 1 cut and pressing forward. Come back into my nice centered balance, come high, and then just move and cut through into the upper. And then coming back. Good basic. And just come through with the cut. Okay, good. So this is kind of interesting. When you do these steps, you've got these 2 rhythms in the body. So you've got the kind of rhythm of the footwork and then the rhythm of the hands and the arms. And in terms of the speed of the rhythms are different. So the arms are much faster and the legs are much slower. In this case, I need to kind of synchronize these rhythms together. So what can happen in this case, the arms are fast. They can kind of cut in front of the body this way. What I need to do is get these kind of rhythms in sync so that the feet really work together in this case. So really allow them to kind of synchronize these 2 rhythms in the body, the feet and the hands. And the moment I'm kind of out of sync, this is where the body's being thrown forward. The weight in the Bokken will just throw you out if you try and finish. The hands go faster. Get this sense of drawing them together. Drawing them together. Okay, just work on the hands and feet. Really try and synchronize the movement. Couple of cuts or 1. Great. Good. And then just go to a set of cuts. So 2, 3, 4, however many you can. Go up to 4 if you can. In this case, just cutting left side, right side, left side. And in this case, just rotate to the back. So just as we do the Suburi normally. Really take your time. Each cut, ground the cut. Go. Ground the cut. Move. Ground the cut. Move. And just work this way. So 2, 3, 4 cuts. Good. Okay. Okay. So really use the idea that you ground the cut into the motion, and this will really allow you to find the next movement. So have the center really ground in the body, here, ground in the cut, and then from here just press into the front foot, and this releases the sword up this way. You really get a sense each time you're going to cut, especially when you do more of these cuts, the tendency is just to get into these kind of movements and just kind of falling through the next cut. But really get a sense that each cut's grounded and full and complete. So really feel that you can ground down. And then from here, the feeling is you press into the front foot and release the sword this way. So you walk it's a little bit kind of slow. Yeah, the feeling of the raise and the cut separate. And pressing through. So really the sense of pushing in the foot and it releases the cut. So get a sense of full extension, full grounded, a strong cut, and then just release through the movement. Ground the cut, release through the movement, ground the cut. Okay, give it a try. Slightly slow it down. Slightly, just really watch the body. Good. Good. Okay, we'll just go to number 7. So just the first cut and thrust. So in this case, in the kamae, just roll the body back, find the jodan kamae. You're going to come forward, cut down with the yokoman, and then thrust through with the ski. And then just come back. So just one cut, one thrust. So nice balanced kami, and then just roll back. Find the jodan kamae. Find the yokoman. Find the thrust. Yeah, nice and calm. Really easy. Okay. Good. And again, just work with fully grounding the cut, and then flow this into the cut, into the thrust. So really get this sense that you're gonna really ground the body here, and then from here just press the front foot and thrust in through this way. So the more I can ground this first cut here, the more I can just press weight and travel forward in the thrust. If I don't really ground it, I've got to do all these kind of adjustments to make the next move. So really get a sense you're going to cut into the ground through the yokomen. So really cut into the ground and then just release forward and then find the thrust here. So get this and then release it forward. Okay. Just really feel that you can fully ground the cut. Down. Release. Nice. Good. And then just working, bringing them together. So you're going to cut into the ground and then find the thrust up. Take your time with the first move motion. Yeah. Realize how to find the ground, find the thrust, straight through into it. So in this case, you're just going to follow the focus here, here, and go straight into it. So sinking into the ground with the cut. Find the cut, find the thrust. Bring the movements together. And the center constantly pressing through the sword. Let's give it a try. So cut through, find the thrust. Let's see. Good. Ha. Okay, good. Okay, just watch this point. We're just gonna work on the coordination from it. In this case, if I'm throwing the front of the body forward in the cut, if I throw the front of the body forward, this movement it's almost impossible to ground it, and I end up just falling forward into it. And basically, the hips aren't really working. So if I allow the front of the body to kind of do this motion, basically take over the job of the hips, then the front of the body starts this motion. So really try and work from the hips. In this case, we just work on a really, it's just a connection work, just nice and soft this. So I just want you to really soften the cut and really just focus on the hip work. Hip, hip, this way. So really allow the hips to move first. The moment I kind of break the structure down here, then the hips kind of can't work. And then the front and the arms take over. So just softly get a sense of cutting with the hip, and then the hip comes in this way. So just really prioritizing the hips, the connection work and the hips. So hip, hip, hip. Take it in slowly or a little bit faster. But just get a sense the hips are flexing all the time through the motion. Hip, hip. And the arms just follow this motion. Good. And then just emphasizing the cutting, focusing in the hand. Just have the sense of cutting in, thrusting out this way. So just shorten the movement down a little bit, but really get a sense of focus in the hip, focus out this way. So just really focus now. You're going to time the hip work with the focus this way and out. So really get a sense that the focus here leads to the hip work here this way. Okay. So really drawing these movements together now. So focus hip this way. Or shorter movement, just really working on the connection. And really allow a change in hip work. So you're working from a yokomen position here, and then really into a thrusting ski position. So the hips really gonna roll all the way through this motion. And this front hip's very much forward. So in the same way you do the thrusting work, we did all the ski work yesterday. It's really a kind of very similar position that the hips, the alignment of the hips is the same with the ski. So the yokomen's here, and then the ski works here this way. So the hips are really rolling behind the ski this way. If I keep the hips kind of square on, then it's just really the arms that do it. But I really need this work. So it's really the hips going to press through this way. So just focus on this now, the transition of the hips from yokomen work to ski. Yokomen work, ski. And fully enter the back hip when you do this one. Just work on this transition. Yokomen hips, ski hips. Yeah, that's it. Good. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay. Good. Okay, last couple of minutes, just cut freely. So you can use any kind of cutting motion you like, Shomen, yokomen skis, or any of these kind of slicing motions, really anything you like. But just really focus on grounding the cut, all the movements. Really get a sense of each time grounding, and then move. Yeah, and then move. You like. Just get a sense of grounding each movement. So relax, heavy, full extension, full powerful cut, but nice and grounded, nice and calm. And just cut however you like. Okay, give it a try. Last couple of minutes. Just move freely. Very nice. Okie dokie, good. So we'll stop there. We'll bow out. Good. Nice basic class. Okay. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもありがとうございました。
Great.
Thank you, Michael.
Very nice. Thanks.